for this Beretta. It's pretty good. So that's been sitting in there for a couple minutes. See if we can't get it cleaned out a little bit more. That's really not that dirty either. And that looks a little better. So that looks pretty good. I can see it here. Not too bad. So get everything put back in here. The only thing to watch out for when you put one of these back together, this is the improper position for the barrel to sit in. We can see on this side that the extractor cutout in the barrel's not set up right. It's got to sit just inside, right here, of the breech area of the slide, or else it's not going to go back together properly. Get our recoil spring back in. We're good to go. Put our takedown lever back up. And that looks good. Nice and clean right there. I'll move on to this SIG now. Got the mag out. It's ready to be taken apart. Turn our takedown lever down. Release our slide. This one actually really pissed me off. It did not shoot well at all. So the SIG definitely did not perform as well as I would have liked it to. When I got this, the slide was green on it. Of course, I took all the old finish off of the slide and out of the inside as well. And I discovered, what I thought at the time, that there was some green paint on this recoil spring that was overspray, and it did look a slightly different color. And what I have since done is ordered from the Gunsprings website, the Wolf Gunsprings, like gunsprings.com I think is what it is, a pack that has like a 14, 16, or 18, or whatever it is, the numbers are, pound recoil springs to see if a little bit lighter spring will help it cycle better. It wasn't cycling properly. It wasn't extracting all of the rounds for whatever reason. So I tried to get all the paint off of this spring. The paint on this was green, which I guess based on the information I found on the Gunsprings website would make this the factory spring of 20 pounds for recoil. So I just thought it was the overspray that was creating more friction on this rod the spring rides on when the recoils, but I don't know if it would really made any difference or not. But hopefully the lighter springs will help. It gets to a point, so I'll have to put it back together now. The other bad thing about these grips is it's hard to push up on the slide release. It's so close right here, it's really hard to get a little finger on there to push it up. But the only problem with it was it would come back far enough, and it wouldn't go far enough back really to extract it. So, I mean, this is a heavy recoil spring, so it's almost like it would go back. There's not really an easy way to do this because my fingers are oily now, but it would only go back so far when the magazine was in it, and it wouldn't want to cycle everything out. Sometimes it wouldn't even extract it all the way. Sometimes it would just get jammed in there, the spent casing. So hopefully the new springs will fix the problem, and I won't have to worry about anything else. It was, however, accurate. I was shooting my little round target from the video, and it hit it. But I tried. I know SIG's website says you should only shoot factory stuff at it. Well, if I had some factory stuff, and it did it with everything I put through it. I had some reloads, I had some factory stuff, and nothing worked. So, hopefully, the new springs will help. Now, I did contact SIG, and I have talked with their customer service a couple times now, and they were okay. They weren't like rude, maybe just a little bit curt, but I think they have a large volume of calls that they receive every day. So I contacted them about getting a factory reblue done on the slide. So that's going to cost me, I think it's about $115 if I go that route, send the slide back to them and have them reblue it. According to what I was told, this part of the slide is held in by this pin right here, and it has to be removed, which I hope they remove it, to reblue this part and then reblue the slide. They also said they'll put a new pin in and take care of the sights, because right now there's no finish on the sights either. So now I'll get the 45 brush here and a little bit of grease and stuff on there. Just go do a little go through here. It actually cleaned it out pretty well. I'll just use this same one I was using before. It's got some CLP on it. I'll add just a little more. And then, yep, it's coming out kind of dirty. Change the camera angle a little bit. That's the first time I've done this too, so just kind of winging it at the moment. Got that's pretty dirty. Came out pretty dirty. Our barrel, it looks pretty good. I'll let that sit for a couple minutes, and the frame's still pretty clean. Not really a whole lot of brass shavings from shooting. You can see the wear pattern, and in this angle it may be a little hard to see. There we go, right there on top where the barrel sits, like that. So don't really need to do anything to the frame right now. And I'll just put a little bit of a couple more little spots of grease on here. And that looks pretty good right there. So this might be a quick one to clean out. I'll set that one aside and let it soak for a few more minutes, and we'll talk about the CZ82. I absolutely love this pistol. It's fun to shoot, and as we know, it's got the polygonal rifling in it, the ambi mag release. So taking one of these apart's easy. You pull down. It's just kind of like very similar to a Makarov, except I like this design better. It's got a fat finger guard for winter gloves, but you just pull it down, and it's nice because it's not like the Makarov or like a Walther where you have to kind of cant the trigger guard to one side so it stays, so you can take the slide off. It snaps in and out of place to do that. So, as we know, the CZ82s have what's called polygonal rifling, and there's a lot of guns that have this, but this one in particular is, I think, one of the, you can kind of see a little bit of a twist in there from the Dirty Boar, but the CZ82 in particular has, I think, one of the better polygonal rifling designs, just because of the fact that you can't really tell there's anything there. Now, it's my understanding that Glocks have polygonal rifling, H&Ks, and that's how easy this thing is to clean. One go with the bore snake, and it's clean. That's it. Now I will wipe down the outside of this, get some of the residue off it from shooting. We can see how it's discolored up top here, and also back on some of the rest of the internals. So I'm going to go get my toothbrush. I forgot to bring that in that I use for cleaning, and so what I'll do is I'll just put a little bit of this stuff on here, help clean it out. Don't want to put a whole lot on there because then it'll start, the bristles will fling it all over the place if you get too much on there. Get everything wiped down.